It's going to be a DAO formed of a community. But one of the things that I think is relevant to Eden is and I've mentioned this a few times, but this DAO will be formed of a 64-person max community because we are experienced with elections. 64 is a really sweet number where you can have rooms of 4 divided 16 times. And then you have ideally 16 people come forward, 4 groups of 4. You end up with a final 4-person. In this case, it's like a committee or a board of directors of sorts. So it'll be a community using that political playoff fractal democracy process annually right now. So there'll be a starting committee, so starting deliberately centralized so we can get this thing rolling. And the committee is going to be charged with the task of, so this is all about block producers and the idea of moving away from vote, trade, buy, sell, exchange, any of that type of stuff. You can't actually stop it. This is what we all kind of realize. Anybody can make a backdoor deal, and there's nothing that can be stopped about that. But what the committee's job will be to at least ensure that the reward that a block producer gets, VPay and BPay in EOS, would go towards something that's beneficial for the ecosystem and the community. So I've introduced a lot of subjective things here, and that's why this is hard, but that's why there's a committee involved. So this is meant to have, this committee is meant to be people who have integrity, hopefully, who are trusted, hopefully, and they will have conversations with the BPs one-on-one, where the BPs will disclose aspects of their financial operations and to basically kind of demonstrate to this committee that they are using their reward to go for salary, infrastructure, projects, developments, whatever it might be. And there's lots, again, ambiguity here to the max, because how do you prove that? And this will be hard. Like, you could just get lied to and the numbers could be falsified. And there's going to be a lot here that will make this difficult. But however, I think myself and many believe that this is a worthwhile endeavor to bring this type of BP selection and encourage a better use, again, subjective, but a better use of their funds, which is basically inflation, to go towards promoting and enhancing and growing the ecosystem. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I mean, there's a lot to that. And I think this will definitely stir up a lot of discussion, and some people aren't going to agree with this at all. And some people are going to think this is great. And, there's nothing we can do about that other than at least be willing to talk about it and not get mad at each other. Like, this isn't meant to be a FUD thing. It's meant to be, can we do better, quote unquote, to those who believe this is better for the ecosystem. And there will be a bit of, like, the idea is for BPs that want to sign on to this, if they're currently buying votes, because that's the only way in EOS that you really can get ahead to a paid position. That's just the reality of it, for right or wrong. It's just the way it is. So there will be this kind of awkwardness. Well, I don't know, awkwardness is the right word, but it'll be a difficult thing to do, because at first this proxy won't have a lot of stake behind it. So if a BP was to be like, yep, okay, we're going to do that, we're no longer going to do any sort of vote buying, you're not going to replace those votes yet. The idea is that there is a large exchange, and they are going to be allowing their customers to opt in to put that stake towards this proxy. And if that's successful, this will be like an order of magnitude the biggest proxy on the network, and it could single-handedly pick the top 21 almost. So this could have a ton of weight behind it that will be enough of an incentive to have BPs who are kind of stuck in this limbo zone of, they kind of have to pay for votes to then do this. But what we've allowed is a 3-month grace period. So part of this is say, hey, sign a pledge that you'll do this and you'll agree to these kind of terms, but you've got 3 months to wean yourself off of what you're currently needing to do. And hopefully in that 3 months, we get enough stake behind the proxy that then makes that a smooth transition. So no one has to actually sacrifice part of their income to keep their business running. And then if it turns out after 3 months, we don't get the stake, well, you know what? I no hard feelings. Then you don't have to commit. You can just kind of, no, sorry, we can't do it. Got to continue with the vote the way we're acquiring votes now to keep ourselves in a paid spot. And that could be that. So hopefully that'll entice a few BPs who are kind of stuck in this tricky situation.